Welcome, ladies, to the Real Estate InvestHER Show, providing inspiration, strategies, and insight to empower women investors to live balanced and financially free lives. Now, here are your co-hosts, Liz and Andresa.
Welcome back, ladies. This is Liz and Liz and Andresa. Welcome back to the Real Estate InvestHER Show, minisode edition. We're excited about today's topic. What are we talking about today, Andresa?
Listen, Liz and I have tons of conversations throughout the day, and we're just starting talking about this subject, like what do we need to work on and what we are recommending team members to work on. And it got a different turn, and I was like, we need to record this. So this is kind of like an insight. You guys are coming to a conversation that didn't happen yet, and it's going to happen now. So she doesn't know what the hell I'm going to say. I don't know what the hell she's going to say. So buckle up.
You know what it's all about, Andresa. Let's bottom line it, because our listeners, you've been with us a long time, the women and men on our journey here that do listen in and want to get something of value. The bottom line is that in order to be a successful investor and to create financial freedom on your own terms, there's these two beautiful words that you and I have accepted that I don't know if everyone has accepted. Continuous improvement. I don't think it's created
Just took a deep breath there.
And it's, I have to say, continuous improvement's a big one. And everyone wants to grow and they say they want to learn and they love like personal growth. But, continuous improvement is looking in the mirror every day and, of course, appreciating yourself, because women don't do that enough. It's also saying, what isn't working and how can I better serve the person, the project, my partner, the GC, the banker? We make everybody wrong, Andresa.
We do, but we need to break it down what that means.
Let's break it down.
Let's break it down what that means. And to me, it's really like facing your demons. Self-improvement.
Hold on. Facing your demons. That's a
right. Because
that's
this
a big one.
This is not like a freaking novel that you're like, oh, it's so good. Let me go to this retreat and we're gonna work on myself. Listen, it's gonna be shit. Okay, you're gonna face things that you're gonna say nope. Triggers and things that you're gonna say, what the hell? It is all about it. The journey to self-development and constant improvement as a leader, as a business owner, is really looking at the stuff that you're like, can we just leave alone that part, just that part over there, right?
Yeah.
But let's talk about what you just said here, because for the women and men that are listening here, if you are growing and scaling, no matter who you're doing business with, what we usually do is make people wrong.
It's fun to make people wrong. Let's just be honest.
100%, right? It's so fun to make people wrong and blame them and tell everything that we see that they don't see. It's their blind spot and X, Y, and Z did that caused me to be in this situation. So make people wrong and then a rampage, right? You're not aware of that. You're doing that automatically. And then you live in this powerful life that it's the power to change is in others. When you do that, when you make people wrong and blame, it's the power is there, right? So when we look in the mirror and I'm like, well, what's my participation here?
Yep.
But why we started this conversation here? Oh gosh. So here's the thing. Not everybody is willing to do that. Right? I don't see my blind spot, but if Liz tells me something that, listen, that's not working, we need to improve this area. If I like, trust, and respect her and we are aligned, I'll work on that. Consciously working on that. Not everybody will take your advice, recommendation, because they don't see it. Because what they see it is that as it is good enough. And that's how we started the conversation over here. As we talk to team members, as we talk to lenders, as we talk to other investors, our Strive members, right? Or say it is good enough. And why is good enough not enough? Liz, I guess that's the
Good
question.
with question. I think it's also about, I do think about good, better, and best, right? And so by
Right.
no means are we saying there's a school of thought, right? That like literally you can get into this spinning and judging yourself or like, this isn't good. I need to get better. I need to get better. And then not really appreciating where you've been. That's not what we're talking about right now.
Mhm.
Because that is something that our community struggles with. I know that, I struggle with at times, right? Just kind of appreciating where you've been, where you're going. I think what we're talking about very, very specifically and why the good enough part, what we're speaking about is when you're working with other people and they are sharing feedback with you, right? So it's very clear. It's not like unknown. You have a working relationship, it's your contractor, it's your banker, it's your partner, it's your private lender. The list goes on and on, your property manager. There's the conversations, and hopefully you have bold enough conversations and you schedule them like there's a relationship here. And you want to say what's working, what's not working. That's a great way to open up the conversation. Then you're going to get feedback. If you've asked the question, you should get feedback. And then when you get the feedback, it's like, what do I do with this?
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what you need to then ask. So then that property manager or that contractor or whomever says, what would be great as we're working together if you can give me this or that, or this is working or not working, so we can keep working effectively together. And then you have a choice again. Like it's more than you just changing. I think it's about building relationships and evolving together. Transactional relationships are not going to get you to scale
No.
and to achieve and make a difference. They have to be a transformational relationship. They have to really move through, right? It's not like you're my property manager. We talk once a month and we check off boxes. And the less we talk, the better. I be talking to my property manager, like, what's going on? How you doing?
Mhm.
And of course, KPIs and what's happening with occupancy and all the important things. And I want to say, what can I be doing as an owner? What can I be doing differently? Right. So I think that's the rub, Andresa, is that we need to, one, have the courage to planned conversations with people. Again, you're going to have them with everybody? No. But you're going to have them with a group of people. Everyone's thinking about people you need to have these conversations with.
Yeah.
But then you ask the questions, the bold questions. And then the work then has to be done with, how do I incorporate this? And do I incorporate it? And if not, you have to ask the question, do I, am I willing to do what needs to be done to better work with this person? And if you want to scale and grow, I don't know how you get out of that. I just don't.
And the vice versa. And I think that when we talk about self-development and constant improvement, right? Here's the problem. Here's the risk that one party goes for it and is really to level up, scale, improve the process, grow. And the other part, if it is a partner of yours, a team member of yours, an employee of yours, is on the good enough mindset of comfortability. Well, it's been working. It is manageable, or we're like maintaining. I am not in the business of maintaining. I am in the business of growing and reaching out for us to fulfill our mission to support women to live a financially free and balanced life. There's no way I can do that around my own community. I'm thinking globally. So everybody around me, right? Liz, our lenders, our teams, our VAs across the world that they're in different locations. Everybody will have to level up. Because if they get stuck in that part, then it's like transactional. Everything that is transactional is replaceable. So if people are not bringing
Say
to
that
the
again.
table,
Say that again. That was good.
oh gosh,
Everything that's transactional is replaceable. Including
everything,
people.
every relationship that becomes transactional, that is replaceable. Especially nowadays that we have VAs across the world
Love it.
that can do it faster, can automate that. We don't need that. We need people. We need people that bring their character to the table, their uniqueness to the table. They are thinking about it, but that requires them to step out of their comfort zone. That requires them to consume content and to do things that are uncomfortable, seek to elevate their mindset. And not everybody is willing to do that. So when there is this discrepancy, you don't want to have those type of conversations. It's a come to Jesus time conversation, right? You see how that person is going to react after it, how you're going to react after it. But as you elevate your goals, you also raise the bar of the things that you're not going to tolerate anymore in your team. That's how leveling up looks like. So what we encourage you to do is, what are the parts, right, that we take responsibility for, that we're leveling up? But what's going on around your team members, internal and external? Are they also leveling up? Are you having certain conversations with them about their leadership, mindset, growth? Where are they? Because if you're not, it's like tires, right? If all the tires are not rotated properly and good to go, if you have an old tire, that's gonna leave you, freaking analogy, man. Swear.
I just to piggyback on that. Now we can obviously wrap it because we want to keep and honor the time that we tell you. But the key is it's something that some of you might be thinking about is like, how do I be myself though in all of this, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we want to have, like, Kathy Colby says that, right, the success is the freedom to be yourself, and we're continually improving and growing. I think those two things are not mutually exclusive. I think being who you are, well, that's just how I am, is sometimes an excuse for people versus it really honing in on it. Because I would say being the fullest version of who you are includes continuous improvement, because you're learning new skills, you're learning new things. You are a lovely person, but you're not always as direct with certain people. Well, that's part of continuous improvement, right? It all is part of this conversation we're having, Andresa. I just wanted to mention that success is the freedom to be who you are. And in order to up level, continuous improvement is kind of prerequisite in a way that works for you and is aligned with who you are, of course. I think that's the other piece to it.
I agree. I think that you're born like an onion, right? You're born like an onion. You're full, whole, and complete. We always are. And throughout our lives, we keep adding more layers to protect ourselves, to survive, for trauma purpose, right? So it's not that as you are doing the work, you are just taking that stuff that no longer served you, but your essence is still the same, right? The freedom for you to be yourself. Whoa, what a gift. And if people like it, great. If they don't like it, as my friend here says, go pounce in. And we're good to go.
So as we wrap this episode, where is there an area for you in your business, in your life, as a real estate investor, creating financial freedom on your own terms? What's coming up for you as you're listening to this? What's that one area that you've been kind of pushing, you've been like kind of putting to the side, but you're like, if I dealt with that, my business would grow. I would grow, and I'd be almost more fulfilled. That's the area that's been coming up for you as we've been talking for the last 10 minutes. That's the area we want you to discover. Spend some time with yourself, get some feedback from a good friend, do something with what you've gotten from today. It's that one thing, the one thing that's coming up for you. Do something with it, take some action. And we appreciate you being on this journey with us.
See ya. Ciao. If you enjoyed this podcast and want to receive updates on our next interviews, go to our website, therealestateinvestor.com. There, you can subscribe to our show, become part of our investor community, and get updates on upcoming episodes.
If you like our show, please share it with other women who would benefit. And don't forget to leave us a rating on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. And as always, we encourage you to take one action as a result of today's show and put it into motion so you can live both a financially free and balanced life. Thanks for spending time with us.
Ciao.